We're live. Welcome to the Money GPS Live. Thank you all for being here today. It is a good day today. Gotta set up everything on my end. Ready? All right. It's just a couple minutes here, everybody. Thank you all for being here. We got 24 people in the house. I want to say hello wherever you are around the world. I have subscribers from literally, I've heard of basically every single country over the years. So it's fantastic that people are gathered around the truth, because as you know, there's a lot of channels out there that you could be watching with a lot of fluff. But in this case here, I'm trying to bring you the details and the data, and I promise you that I am about to make this channel just a little bit better. I'm going to try a few new things. I have been, as you know, if you've been on this channel for a while, I have been tweaking and modifying little parts of the channel over the years. And, you know, depends. Some people love the changes and others. But overall, I have had so much positivity over the period. So, you know, I appreciate that. Really do. I'm just doing everything on my end here. I'll get that going as quickly as I can. All right. Get the Instagrams going. Let's see. Instagram always has trouble. There we go. All right. Okay. Finally. We are live. All right. Let's do it. I like your videos. Thank you, Eric. Smash the like button. Yes, 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 yes. You need to promote your Odyssey channel at the end of your video so you can speak more freely. I actually discovered you on Odyssey. Nice. Thank you for that. You know what I love about Odyssey the best is that everything gets pulled over automatically. So I don't have to actually do anything. In terms of Odyssey, they hooked me up. The CEO, I think it was, actually got looped in on a Twitter thread with me and said, yeah, I'll hook it up. No problem. They did this and that. They said, set up your account. Here you go. And everything gets pulled over automatically. Awesome. BitChute and Rumble, the other one, the connection doesn't work. And they said, we can't fix it. So I would love to be on those ones as well. I'm on all platforms, just so you're clear. If anybody wants to try a platform, I'm on there. The only two that I can't get on, Rumble and what was the other one I said? BitChute. I would do it. I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm on Google Podcasts. I'm on anything you could think of. I'm there. So, you know, wherever you want to check me out, please do. Okay. I'm trying to bring the content out left, right, and center. The only reason why I don't do promotion about the other ones is, quite frankly, it gets fragmented. So you got like 60 people there, 1,000 people there, 200 people there, and then your audience is fragmented all over the place. And in a sense, it's good for security and diversification purposes, but in terms of the business aspect of it, is really bad. So, you know, I try to do what I can. You know, I'm trying to balance it out. I want those other ones to be there as a backup and just to get the word out. As you see, you joined me from Odyssey, you found me from Odyssey. But at the same time, the more people you have on one platform, especially in my circumstances where I'm being shadow banned, that, or it's not shadow banned, but it's called lower authority, that I really need every view to come in that way. You know, at least I got to try. So nice background. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's answer this question first. What is the October surprise? I bet it won't be good for us. So many people talk about the October surprise. It depends on the circumstances. There's always this possibility that, you know, something big happens in October. Historically, October has been one of those times in which you have big events happen. Big events. I'm going to show you some technical analysis in just a moment here to look at the markets, and we could see in that case. But you never know. You really never know. You know, there's a lot going on right now. So we'll see. I love the thumbnail. Thank you. Thank you. I really tried to up the game, the thumbnail game, because hoping that that would get people to come in. I used to do really colorful backgrounds and everything, and simple graphics. And then more recently, I've changed that. I use a website called Pexels, Pexels, which has all these different models that take photography. And then I put my face on top of those models, and it looks good. Thank you, thank you. Brother, big fan here, and I have a question that is frustrating me. How can we have deflation if the Fed's target is 2% inflation? It drives me crazy. Less inflation. So in my opinion, the real deflation is actually happening. Okay, everything wants to come down. Asset prices want to come down, but because interest rates are so low, it is warping and distorting that. Okay, so that the natural effect is okay, calm down, take a breather, right? It's like, somebody's high on some drug and they're just running all around. The body wants to stop and drop and relax, but because the adrenaline is going, it can't stop. But what would happen when that adrenaline runs out? Well, of course, it's a full collapse. The same thing occurs in any market. Look at it historically. It always ends. I have read so much financial history. It is unbelievable. And every time, it doesn't end, it's funny. It doesn't end with, and that recession wasn't that bad. Or that event, it's fine. Not bad. Not a big deal. It always ends in a spectacular fashion. And that's not a good thing, right? Awesome. Eric, thank you very much. Red October, bet on it. Thanks for all your work. Well, I really appreciate your support of the channel. Thank you very much. There's so many different events that could possibly happen throughout this period of time, especially with the ultimate concern being November timeframe. The Federal Reserve might taper. Could that trigger something? I don't think necessarily day one, but I know that the markets are not, they haven't priced in that at all, even despite we are way off the highs. But they would really not like the fact that, the money printing is, it's slowing down now. What are we going to do? So we'll see what happens. Thank you. Kathy was driving me crazy with her latest stuff. So glad you are alive. I was just going to send you an email. Yeah, I saw that I actually have that up right now, I think. Let me read you the title. Kathy Wood's ARK ETF sees the highest quarterly outflow on record. So she's selling off out of Tesla, saying Tesla is the greatest company that has ever lived, and there's going to be 1 million robo-taxis by the year 2020. Anyway, and then at the same time selling off. Now they're saying, okay, we have to sell off because we don't want to make it more than 10% of our portfolio. I didn't do the calculation, but it's record outflows. So something's going on. That's all. First quarter of 2022, I don't know specifically in terms of timing. What I am focused on right now is looking at the inflation, real inflation and fake inflation. And I'm also looking at not the jobs numbers, not the unemployment rate. That's not important. The actual tapering. I'm looking at tapering. That's a big deal. Are they going to taper? Are they talking about taper? Are they getting stronger with the rewarding? That's the big deal right now. Could we absolutely be facing some sort of correction in the markets? I think we're halfway there already. Many have called for a 5 to 10% correction. And of course, technically 10 to 20% is a correction, but these days the markets don't come down. So 5 to 10%, if you think about it, from March 2009 up until the present, there has only really been one big dip, okay? And it wasn't even that, it's not big, but I would call it the dip. Like you see people saying, buy the dip, right? There really has only been March 2020 was the only real dip throughout that period. 2015 was kind of weak, depending on where you look. But ultimately, you you see, this opportunity to buy in. There really hasn't been. You're just basically buy high, sell higher is kind of the goal. Although most people have no idea when to sell. They just want to kind of pile it up, and then one day it's going to be worth more, and then they sell it and so on. So in terms of timing, I don't know, but that's definitely what I'm watching. When will the flush happen in the stock market? Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm interested to see it. SPY, when are we going to get the S&P 500 up to that level? What are we at right now? Well, it's got to break its previous high. Let me pull this up. You guys can't see my screen. I'll show you my screen in just a second. 45. Yeah, I mean, to get back to 4,500 is not that difficult. At least on the S&P 500. To get back to 4,500, there's a lot of room to move up. But I think the market has to get rid of a few things, a few fears. And what are some of those? Debt ceiling. They have to pass this whole thing. They have to make sure the funding gets taken care of. They have to pass some sort of infrastructure bill. Whether that's going to be 1.5 trillion or 2 trillion, they're not going to get what they initially wanted probably. So it'll be a smaller bill. Those two things, if those get passed right now, market's coming up. Market's coming up. So that's my belief anyway. And 45, so where we are today to 4,500 is very possible, like in a relatively short period of time. But the market wants to see that those things, even though they don't matter, truthfully, but they play on this news. There's an ebb and flow in the market, and I'd love to show you one indicator that I love to use. I'll show you guys in a minute. I just want to wait for a few people to be here. We got 185 people in the house, and oh my goodness, only 55 likes. What's going on? You got to hit that like button right down here, somewhere in here. You got to hit that like button. Cheers. Let's see, 85, 95 likes. Let's go. Do it for Janet. Do it for Helicopter Ben. Helicopter Ben will rain the money down on you. But only if you hit that like button. Do it. 104. And by the way, I'm announcing it right now. So we hit $1.6 trillion in the reverse repo operations. When we get to $2 trillion, we are going to have, whatever day of the week it is, we are going to have a $2 trillion reverse repo party, okay? You are invited to the world's only reverse repo party, $2 trillion. Stay tuned. I don't know when that's going to come. Could actually happen in October, but stay tuned for that. You're going to be there. I know you will. I don't know what day of the week, like I said, but the day that it happens, that night, I will post a message on the blog/community section of the channel, and we'll do a live. All right? We're going to have fun with that. A lot of people were kind of weird. Like, there was some people who saw the live after and were like, why are you celebrating this? Why are you doing this? We have to have fun with all of this. I mean, it's serious. It's really serious, deep stuff. And that kind of thing, it's funny, right? To just share and just realize, like, this is crazy, man. And let's just express ourselves differently than what others do. And it's okay. It's okay to do that. But some people were very offended by it. But anyway, we're going to do a $2 trillion reverse repo party, and it's going to be the only one in the world, just like the $1 trillion reverse repo party was the only one in the world. So hope you'll be there. Library, yeah, I'm on Odyssey, so they uses library, I believe it uses the same underlying technology. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Library is basically Odyssey, right. US Fed will go for an inflationary collapse. That's what they're trying to do, that's for sure. No doubt. Australia is pretty stuffed. Look up China and our property market. Oh, for sure. Oh my goodness. I lost the chat. What else is new? Oh, there's like 1,000 comments. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. The Fed will not let that happen. The Federal Reserve actually wants to create a crisis. Just look historically at it. Trust the Fed at your own peril. Completely agree. Don't fight the Fed. Nobody has ever fought the Fed. All right, black swans. I agree with that. A lot of potential ones. And what I think the biggest one is not much of a black swan, but a big event anyway, is China-Taiwan. I think that one is heating up like crazy. Every single day I watch, I read the news and there's just jets are scrambled. Taiwan, they went into the airspace. They're doing this. There's a threat from this general to that general. I mean, literally every day. It's crazy. At the same time, you've got some strange things going on. You know, everything from Evergrande to, you know, the different they're even more controlling and seemingly controlling everything, shutting down things, and something's going on. Something's going on. All right. Yep, Burry's got a nice put against Tesla. I covered that here. Yeah, it is. It's not a massive position, but he's making a point. He's making a point, and just so happened to pick, by the way, the very top, as far as I'm aware. So, why does everyone hate Tesla? It's been my best investment ever. I don't hate it, but what I would say is that there have been many outright lies. Robo-taxis, 1 million robo-taxis on the street by 2020 was not true, was never meant to be true, but that type of stuff hypes up the stock. So, but I mean, I think what you're saying there is that the stock has performed very well. And there's no doubt about that. I mean, it has performed extremely well. Thoughts on, what do we got? We're here. Instagram. Any thoughts on silver? Love silver. If you type in gold, the money GPS, you should get some videos. Last year I did 2 videos, I think, the earlier half of the year last year that really break down my thoughts about gold. And it's the same with silver. But essentially, replace the word silver with gold, or gold with silver. When all else fails, then they turn to gold. Okay, that's my view. And then silver follows right after that and is more exaggerated usually. Thoughts on Q4 for crypto? I think my personal opinion, stocks and crypto are extremely correlated, at least now. And so if they start tapering, risk off the table, and less risk on the table, I should say, and therefore crypto may not do so well. I'm not saying it's going to crash, but I believe that once you have risk, the reduction of risk, we will see money leaving cryptocurrencies, or at least not new money entering. So we could, kind of lay flat. If you think about it, what happened with, what was it, 2019 or whatever, when Bitcoin was sitting at 8,000 to 9,000, it seemed like forever when Bitcoin was in that range. Great buying opportunity, by the way. You didn't need to time that. You just bought at any time in such a long period, and you would have been all right. We could enter that time frame too. You've been saying this stuff for a few years now. I'd be poor if I listened to you. I mean, what? Tell me right now. So I'm going to scroll down to your comment. You commented. You came into the channel. You've made your point. You've made your point. Let's go. What exactly are you talking about? We're waiting. We're all waiting. Gainsey, waiting for you. We're waiting. Are you still here? Come on. Don't have all day. Hurry up. Hello? 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 Wake up. Wake up. Put the pipe down, buddy. All right. Done. Goodbye. Anyway, thank you very much for this, for the support. Thoughts on rising copper prices? Yeah, I mean, every commodity is going up. And at this point, ultimately, you know, I'm looking at it all. I'm just looking at it as a broad spectrum commodities. Specifically with copper, I mean, some people are thinking, hey, I'm going to start buying copper and keeping it. The only problem with that is that, you know, you kind of have to keep large quantities of it and so on. But just, I mean, all commodities are just going crazy. But you see some of them. Look at lumber, obviously, and iron ore. Same kind of pattern. So it's not necessarily that something can go up forever. We really don't know. We really don't. So ultimately, I don't have too much to say about copper specifically, other than the fact that what I look at is what's happening in China that is directly going to affect copper prices. I am noticing retail sales in China going down, 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 down slowly. That's big. At the same time, construction, Evergrande, this whole mess, if that starts to unravel, copper prices can come down. That's another one. But we have the supply chain problems and everything that are kind of supporting this whole thing. So, you know, I would be, you know, it's kind of this push and pull. It's not normal. So the supply chain thing is keeping everything in this crazy fashion, but that doesn't mean it can't come down, because look at lumber. So that's my long-winded answer for you. If you have any more, please let me know. Thank you very much for the support. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Just print money, bro. That will fix the economy. Yes, it's so true. That's what they believe, actually, which is crazy. But, you know, and there's a lot of talk about this, you know, MMT and universal basic income and all these things. I understand. Like, I understand the underlying message of it. And let's be honest, there's millions of people that are absolutely suffering, that just can't get out of poverty, or they're right at that line around poverty. And it is just truly unfortunate, particularly when you're seeing these people making more money than ever before. So the only problem is bigger government is never really the solution. They never provide us with anything. They say we're gonna spend $1 trillion on poverty. We're gonna spend $1 trillion on poverty. Let's do it. And then what happens? The actual people who need that money, they end up getting just a little drip. It's like a funnel. I always think of it like a funnel, and then you come down and you get that just a little bit for the actual people who need it. And that's just the way it works. That's the system. Okay, it's so massive that it just doesn't work. Doesn't work. Thank you, M, for the support. Will the Fed raise rates if inflation starts to hurt? Yellen thinks that we should only consider the debt service rate, not possible without 0% interest rate. Yeah, I did see a little bit of what she had said. So, my personal opinion, inflation's already going crazy, right? They're saying it's transitory. We know it's not. Let's say it goes on into next year. They're actually, like, in that same testimony, I saw Jerome Powell being asked, hey, what's going on with this inflation rate? It's picking up. People are getting concerned, this and that. He said, yeah, it's going to persist into next year. So now you have Jerome Powell, other people from the Federal Reserve, you've had economists left, right, and center saying you will experience higher rates of inflation into next year. That's incredible. I mean, if that's the case, this whole transitory thing, not true. Okay, we can admit that. Have there ever been cases where inflation gets really, really bad and then just, slowly comes down as calm and then everything is good? I mean, I don't know. No, like all of my study has indicated that doesn't happen, that it always ends badly. Things get out of control. Everything's getting out of control over there. What do we do? Okay, we could fix it. We can do some deficit spending. We'll spend our money and put it there. We got a problem over here. Okay, let's put some money over there. And then doing that only makes things worse in the end, but it's a great temporary solution. So I think that they actually will increase interest rates, but they'll do it too late. And if you wait too long, like Canada, for instance, waiting too long right now, if they wait too long, then they have to be more aggressive. So it's not 0.25% now, and then wait 3 months, wait 6 months, whatever it is. No, it's, oh my goodness, the inflation rate's getting too hot. Let's increase this month after month after month. And then now they're going step. And then, we got a recession, and now we bring the interest rates down. But how far can they bring them up without causing a crisis? My crude calculations of this is actually 0.75 to 1% on the Fed funds rate to be the equivalent of where it was at the last hiking cycle of 2.5%. So if we get to like 1% or lower, we would be technically at the same level of tightness that we were at 2.5%. In the previous recession, it was approximately 5.5%. So 5.5 to 2.5 to maybe 1 if we're lucky. That's crazy. There's just no room. It's like ammunition has an effect, right? So they're pumping all of this money in and they're stimulating with low interest rates, and going from 5.5% down to close to 0, that has a huge effect. It's a huge change. 2.5 down to 0, not much, but 1% or 0.75% down, nothing. Has no effect. Could they bring it to the negative? They could, absolutely. They say that they won't, but we don't believe anything they say anyway. But the actual effect of which has been not successful. If you look at Europe, if you look at Japan, they have not been successful with negative interest rates, but they're stuck. They can't bring them up at this point, but they haven't been successful. Anyway, so I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Ryan. It seems like the forced power shortages in China will have a knock-on effect on the supplies heading to the USA. I do believe so. If that's the case. They've been telling them supposedly, I mean, we don't know what to believe, obviously, but they have said, you have to keep your power on. You can't shut down. You need to continue to manufacture. You need to continue to produce this and that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on. What is this all about? Like, what really is this all about? I don't know. But, I'm waiting and seeing, right? I'm waiting and seeing. So we'll see. What are your thoughts on the blockchain and how we can use that to redesign the global economy? I think that everything being open, like this, I'll just say this message. If we can find a way to allow competition, allow competitive forces, everything's always going to be better over the long term. You should allow competing currencies. You should allow competition in every way possible. Just take an example of this. People, they want the government to control something because they say privatization enriches a small group of people and so on. So we'll have the government deal with it. And that's how the government grows bigger. Hey, the government's going to take care of you. Don't worry. Okay, so that's I understand that. But let me take the example of this. In Toronto, you have the garbage pickup, the waste management, okay? Then that was outsourced or privatized. So the government supposedly saves money by doing this. And truthfully, the actual, if you talk to people living in Toronto, they will say garbage pickup is much better now than it was when the government was running it. Okay, so it's more efficient. But understand what happened here. One company, GFL now has the contract for the entire city. So who got real wealthy? Yeah, the CEO of it bought the most expensive home ever in Vegas or somewhere in Nevada, I believe. Anyway, I think it was outside of Vegas. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I covered it on the channel. But anyway, the point is now that one company gets all of the funding from the government in. So yes, it's more efficient. People like it better. The public is happier as a result. But at the same time, you know, is this really something that benefits the public as a whole? What if you had people that were allowed to decide, you know what, I don't want GFL to be my garbage pickup. I want, I don't know, ABC to be my garbage pickup company. And what would happen? All of a sudden, you have people that are competing in prices. They're now, oh, that company is going to pay an extra dollar salary per hour. Oh, I'm going to go work for that company. Oh, this company is offering a particular benefit. I'm going to go work for that company. No, but GFL has the contract. That's it. It's no different. It's not different. That's what I say. So for blockchain, same situation. You know, if our banks were able to use some sort of blockchain or anything like this, that basically eliminates the power structure as it is, then that would be beneficial. But people need to try it. People have to have the opportunity to try it. But the way that they do things, it's all controlled under their systems. Thank you for the support. Which 3 federal spending areas has to shrink? Military, Medicare, Social Security pensions, fuel and fuel subsidies, or foreign aid? I would say every single one. People are going to hate me for that. Okay, so military can be reduced almost entirely. You could probably, I don't know in particular, but probably you could get that down to maybe 5% of the total, maybe. You just protect the borders. You just protect the borders. There's no need for the U.S. to be in South Korea. There's no need for the U.S. to be in Europe. There's no need. Putting troops right along somebody else's border is a threat. It's threatening that, you know. But of course, it's great for the military-industrial complex, make a lot of money. In terms of Social Security, the government has to start just admitting to people, we cannot afford to pay this. We can't afford it. It's done. So we're going to phase it out over a period of, I don't know, 10 years. So you're paying in, and then you get a little bit back at the end, and we just call it quits right there. We just call it quits. We can't do it. It's not working. It is not functional. This system, it's not going to happen. Okay, we need less overall government program, and we need people to have more money initially. If they're earning whatever it is, $50,000 a year, and the government's going to take the half of that in taxes, or maybe they're going to take 30% in taxes. If the people were just allowed to keep more initially, then you wouldn't have a problem. You go to you get your paycheck, $1,000 paycheck, and then, it's not really $1,000, it's 700. Oh, I thought I was getting paid $1,000. Yeah, well, it's not the employer's fault. It's the fact that they have to take off those income taxes, and then come tax time, maybe you'll get a little bit, you get a few crumbs back if you're lucky. So that's the thing, right? I believe that smaller government is the solution. It's not perfect. In fact, some people would very much dislike it. I just think that it is always abused. It is always seen as being, altruist, and we're doing it for your own good. But ultimately, it just gets, people get squeezed, people get hurt, people are getting, just, I don't know. I just don't, historically, I've read it all. They're terrible. They are terrible at dealing with anything. That's just my opinion. Thank you. Thank you as always. Keep on buying your garbage metals, though. Billy is not a fan of the metals. What I would say about the metals, precious metals, is quite frankly that this has to be like, it's part of a portfolio. If you look at what they call risk parity, or what Ray Dalio calls the all-weather portfolio, it's part of it, okay? 7.5% in the all-weather portfolio. And then you look at, if you look at David Morgan, okay, so David Morgan is the silver guy, okay? So some people are known as for gold and stuff, but David Morgan's kind of the silver guy. And in his book, I read his book. If you want to check it out, definitely recommend this really short book. Even in that book, he said 10% in precious metals. And the guy's business focuses around precious metals. So he said, because you're not making an income from those precious metals. So you can have, if your entire portfolio is 100%, you're not going to see passive income. You're not going to see cash flow. Actually, what do I have right here? Here. Let's see if I can. It's all backwards. There we go. Everything is backwards, difficult. Anyway, passive is massive. You are always going to find different percentages, portfolio, whoever thinks this and that, depends on where you are, but understand the benefits of each individual asset class. And don't forget about business. I will harp on that every day. So Merck saved the market today. Yeah, I saw that, which is it's nonsense. But actually, I can show you in a second here. Let's go into the technical analysis, guys. I'll show you my screen in a second here. It looked like it was going to come back up at least a little bit today, regardless. What is the name of the book? I can't remember. David Morgan is the author, and it's like the Guide to Silver or something like this. The word silver is in it. Really easy book, really simple book. So let's take a look. I'll just do this for just 1 second. Hope you can see that. All right, so here we go, quick. What we're looking at here is the S&P 500, and you could see this Bollinger Band, this purple line right here. This Bollinger Band kind of tells you when things are getting a little out of whack, either to the top side or to the bottom side. And back right around here, August 30th, if anybody was paying attention to this, it's riding around the top of this Bollinger Band, and it starts to find its way out of that. And what does it tell you? If you notice, the price kind of condenses. Do you see how this Bollinger Band is? You find the price action starts to, get squeezed essentially within these Bollinger Bands. And then, of course, it comes down. It was overbought during this period of time. You can see throughout this right at the beginning of September, first few days, it looks like it's going to come down. And where does it go down to? Oh, that's right, to the bottom Bollinger Band, and finds its way there on September 20th. So the move started to come up. Now we had the whole debt ceiling thing and everything that changed its mind. But essentially it's ebbing and flowing between the top Bollinger Band and the bottom Bollinger Band. At the bottom here, I got the stock RSI indicator set up in a particular way, a little aggressive. But essentially what we're seeing is that indicator helping us to learn about this. Just a really quick mention, you could see how on this right here, where it's positioned, we were at what looks like 189. The point is it was overbought throughout the period. And then in this case here, it doesn't hit that previous high. It's a lower high. And that right there, pure signal of a downward move. This is all technical stuff. As time goes on, I'm starting to understand that, when you're looking at the fundamental aspects of what's happening in the market, I see, okay, well, the debt ceiling thing is happening, and they've got, worries over here and there, or things are really great here. But then you see the market not reacting in a normal way. You're saying, hey, it was all positive news, but why did the market go down? It's because there's a lot of algorithms that are behind it. A lot of algorithms. And they're trading on this data here that's in the price action itself. So this can give you a little bit of insight. Now the direction of the market, like the total direction, is obviously going to be in a way that's has to do with more of the underlying issues. Okay, are they printing a lot of money? Are interest rates really loose? Is things good, geopolitically, there's no wars happening, all this stuff. But the ebbs and flows throughout that pattern are really showing up and making themselves very clear on these charts like this. Okay, hope it doesn't confuse anybody. And then, what about uranium right here? Take a look at uranium, looking hot. Okay, a lot of these companies right now, I mean, it came down from the peak, but because it was way overbought. I mean, just the insanity of it all, how overbought that was. And when did it officially, I mean, if you would have rolled that up, I mean, that was right there on the 23rd. You could have easily bought in on the 23rd and sold off on the 16th. You would have made an absolute killing. And that was pretty easy to spot. The QQQ, I have it in here for anybody who's invested in tech. Again, same kind of pattern with the S&P 500, right? It moves up to the top Bollinger Band, gets a little too heated, and then we start coming down. We never know what's going to happen, but ultimately this kind of gives you a guide of, is this going to fall much more, or is it likely to bounce back? And you can use these simple indicators and just kind of make sense of it all. Okay, that's my stock rent. All right. Mic is flickering. Are you guys having a problem? Hello to everyone who joined on Instagram. Thank you for coming on. Dow is up 500 points today. Here comes the October rally to all-time highs. It could be that. Yep. We'll see what happens. Very good technical analysis. Thank you. I was thinking, head and shoulders top. Yeah. I was thinking about considering to do an entire technical analysis video separate from my daily videos. We'll see. Anyway, I'm being mentored currently, learning, like I'm trying to take my technical analysis to the higher level so that I can give you the absolute best data. So I don't mess around. I spend the money to get you the best data. Okay, if that's what it takes, I spend the money. Okay, so I'll try to bring you that regardless, but I want to be up tip-top shape. I want to be, I want to get the right recommendations. So Instagram, you're saying, so what are you recommending? What exactly you're asking? Are you talking about the particular stocks and things? I don't tell people which stocks to buy. I don't give financial advice. But if you have a particular question, I can answer it. All right. I'm looking at you guys. You're commenting to each other. Okay. How do you set up your RSI? This was the stock RSI. The one I was showing this was the stock RSI. And I base these off of, my mentor for the stock market is Profit Market. You can check him out on YouTube. I did an interview with him approximately 3 months ago. Seems like yesterday, but I did an interview with him about 3 months ago on my channel. And you can go to his channel. I use his exact same settings that he does. And the stock RSI, where do I have it now? I mean, if that's something people are interested in, I could show you my entire breakdown, but maybe we'll cover that in a video or something. But yeah, I'm just getting the information directly from him, his strategy. He has done a lot a lot of work over the years. Really good guy. And I'm trying to bring, he literally told me, I will spend time one-on-one with you if that means you're going to give that information to your subscribers. Like, I was instantly sold, because I said, yeah, I want to provide them with the best information possible. And he said, okay. So to me, that's amazing. To me, that is absolutely amazing. So I'm happy to bring as much information as possible. Like, I know that this channel is never going to be one of those, 10 million subscribers and this and that, but I'm just saying, hey, whoever's here, I'm going to bring them the best stuff, the absolute best stuff. In addition to that, stay tuned, because there's going to be this, what I'm doing for sure. There's going to be that introduction. I showed people on the live previously, but there's going to be this new background happening in the live, but also in the beginning of the video and throughout the video. There's going to be this really cool background that I got getting made right now. In addition to that, there's going to be transitions in between. So if I'm talking about, let's say, China, and then 3 minutes later, I'm talking about, I don't know, the stock market, there's going to be a transition in between the two of those that's going to stay, say, for example, like stock market. So you're going to get it like divisions, just a quick little thing. And I do believe that that's going to help people who are new to the channel kind of hold and keep them watching the video. And also graphically, it's going to look a little better. So the production value will be a little nicer. So I hope you'll love those changes as well. Who is this directed towards? Why are there people like this in here? Oh, is there a guy? Yeah, yeah. Who are you directing this towards? Instagram. Let me read that. Goal's a good gamble. Do you ever analyze? Check this out. Do you ever analyze financial trends with politicians and how they invest the stock market versus their actions? I don't do that, but I found it to be very funny, Nancy Pelosi and others, how incredibly accurate that they have been. But I mean, look, what are they investing in? They're investing in Facebook, they're investing in Apple, they're investing in all the other companies that everybody else is. So they're not necessarily doing anything. You just put your money in at any time and it just keeps going higher. So it's not like nobody is a genius right now. You just put your money into absolutely anything and it just goes higher. This is not intelligent investing, okay? It's not, Benjamin Graham would not call this the intelligent investor, but people are able to profit from it, right? It's just a matter of, will you, number one, be able to profit when the market comes down? I think that would be fantastic if you can do that. Because imagine being able to actually short Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan on the way down. How fantastic would that feel? Okay. But at the same time, I don't want to give like financial advice or tell people what to do and so on. But I just think that right now it's a wacky time. Watch carefully, keep your eyes peeled, invest, not like, you got to understand, like what we're seeing right now is unbelievable. So we don't want to have everything into the riskiest of risky everything. Okay. Even though you think it's real certain, you want to have your money in different places that is, has an advantage for some reason. Man, your stuff is great. You helped me a lot. Thank you very much. Absolutely. I'm looking at buying another home in August. Where should I park my money? Another home. I'm looking at buying another home in August of next year, I'm assuming. So what, are you going to keep your money for a year? Tough one. If you want to keep it in something just liquid or whatever, people put it in money market. But of course, you're not going to keep up with inflation. So I don't like to tell people where to keep their money. If you have debt, you can pay down the debt. If it's real estate investment property, you can always put it in the property. And then when you're ready to go, you can do a refinance, assuming that interest rates remain low. At this point, you can do that. If it was me, I don't want to tell people what to do. If it was me, I would have a business. But hard to say over the next year. Natural gas is screaming. Yes, going so high. Natural gas is very expensive. It's not I think we're not at a record high, but it is extremely expensive. If you look in Europe, I mean, oh my goodness. That's a different story. I'm subbed, love learning things that are fulfilling prophecy. The worse the economy gets, the closer we are to the end of the wicked system. Yeah, it looks like it. But I actually believe that what's coming next will be worse. That's my personal opinion. Freight is expensive. Yes, I agree with that. This would be my third home, all income property. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good work. Yeah, lock in those interest rates as long as you can. Okay, that's the key. Make sure you're cash flow positive. That's so important. 3D house printing is the only savior. I love that technology, even if it doesn't really. I did an interview with the guy on site. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. But it's from Alquist, ALQUIST, Alquist. They actually said they actually were on site during that interview. It was amazing. And even if it doesn't really, technologies take time and so on. So remember that these things have bumps along the way that they experience and obstacles and all this. And I found that to be amazing just to see it in action. And that's kind of it was the first one. So who knows what it's going to be like in 10 years from now, for affordable housing, and things are changing. Ultimately, there's some downside long-term, I think, with all the robotics and automation, not necessarily with just the 3D printing homes, but they want to go in that route. They want to go for that route and have what I believe is more outsourcing, more automation, more robotics, and less humans involved. It's just that. Is Pluto still considered a planet? No, it is not. But I still consider it a planet. Pluto, I won't forget you. Stock options seem to be expanding. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people getting into that. And I think even like the Robin Hoods and what's that other one called? Webull. I think they actually allow that kind of stuff, which is a little bit frightening because these platforms are not designed for experienced traders, and options are something that it's not just about. Options are not just about Apple is a good company. I'm going to buy some stock options to have leverage. That's not an option. There's a lot of timing involved. There's the expiry of the option. Like, think about it. You put $1,000 into these options. Let's just say you could potentially lose all. You're buying Apple or you're buying Amazon. You know that these companies do well, but you can lose all of your money in a relatively short period of time. That's risky. That's real dangerous because if you're owning the Apple stock or you're owning Amazon, you could always just hang on for dear life, and you hope that eventually the stock goes up. But with the case of options, that's not it. That's not. You can't just hold on. Okay, it doesn't work like that. So there's an extra level of risk. Excellent work and info. God bless you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. When will fiat go away for good? I think we're heading into an even more fiat system. I think they're going to get rid of the US dollar and we're going to go to some sort of central bank digital currency type system that will have more control, and it will be implemented through some sort of emergency. Just like we had with the Bretton Woods. What happened? Emergency scenario, let's do Bretton Woods. They get that passed, everybody signs, okay, all good, done. Same thing, right? Pluto is a dwarf planet. No, don't give up on Pluto. Okay? Don't give up on Pluto. It's one of the planets. Let's hang in there with it. Don't let them take it from us. Okay? It's a little guy. Pluto's a little guy, and we need to help him out. I hate options. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, right? That's the thing. You don't like it, you don't do it. Nobody's forcing it. And just like, maybe some people, they don't like to do the like day trading or whatever. I know there's a lot of people that they do day trading. Well, what about swing trading? What about other whatever? But you have to find what fits you. That's all. Thank you. Oh my goodness, he's back. David Wong is back. Gotta ban this garbage. Why would that person be, why would they spam that channel with that garbage? Doesn't make sense. David Wong, welcome back. The Relentless Bull, David Wong. If you haven't, David Wong goes by this name on YouTube. It's actually Kathy Wood. If anybody wants to ask Kathy a question, this is Kathy Wood. They say that natural gas is high here in Ireland because of the current situation and the supply issues, but it's because they've shut down the coal plants and have replaced them with gas for electricity. Interesting note. Yeah. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. I get it. Going for the clean energy, green energy, this and that. But at the same time, if you're using a lot of coal, you can't just go in a short period of time and say, okay, that's it. You're not allowed to use coal anymore. We're going to bankrupt you. It was a few years ago that they said, oh, you can run your coal, but we're going to tax you to death. So good luck trying to keep in business. And that, you got to realize this is power. You're going to ultimately, we have this existential threat here. And I get that. Sure. But you can't just, charge people an extremely high amount of money because, well, we had to make this transition over. There's so many different bad things that are happening today. Deforestation, toxic waste dumping, genetically modified organisms. We're doing a lot of damage that can absolutely make a difference if this was stopped. But they're worried about other things. And that's the problem. But that ultimately is why I say these guys aren't looking out for our best interests. That's why we have to be the ones to say, you know what? Fine. I'm getting my own solar panels. I'm getting my own geothermal. I'm going to get my own food supply in my backyard. I'm going to form partnerships with my neighbors. I'm going to move out to a rural area so that I have enough room to grow. I'm going to move out of the city and move into a suburban area with a nice big backyard so that I can grow lots of food. I'm going to, have chickens or whatever you want. I don't know. I'm just saying people have to start stepping up. Okay, we're already too late. We're already too late. We have to make a difference now. And of course, the more people that pull off of the grid and the more people that pull off of their systems, they hate that, number one, because they say, I literally saw somebody, where was it now? Doesn't matter. I saw this person, government official, saying, oh no, we don't like when people get solar panels. We stopped, they were giving out money, a grant. But they said we stopped this and we don't want to do that anymore because the more people that pull off of the system, they're not paying into it and therefore not keeping the Ponzi scheme alive. We got all this infrastructure to take care of. So those people aren't paying in. So you're being self-sufficient and they're upset at you. I mean, that's the world we live in today. But don't worry about it. Well, first of all, you're paying a connection fee. If you're actually still on the grid, but you use your own solar. Like if you don't even use the energy grid at all, but you're still tied in as a backup kind of, they will still charge you a fee. There's a a nominal fee in there, but they're still charging you. So you are paying in. But they're obviously overcharging everybody. I think that's the important point. May get worse before better, but if the people come together and push through it, it's the darkest right before the dawn. I completely agree with that. Power generators hate net metering. Down with peaker plants. Yeah. Bugs as a food source. I'm not interested in that personally, but yeah, there's a lot going on just on so many different levels. I wish just more people would be a little bit more like, instead of just saying, I'm going to buy 7 shares of Amazon, why not buy 6 shares of Amazon and buy, a raised garden bed for your backyard? I think you'd be better off. That's my opinion. Swing trading is anything that's over 1 day, so not an intraday buy, and then as long as like maybe a month or two. It's kind of a loose definition. That's swing trading. So it's not an intraday, so at least you hold overnight, and then goes up to like a month or 2 months, loosely defined. Thank you for the support. Oh, my Instagram shut down on me. Gotta get back in. Sorry, 1 second. Off grid and the chickens. Tell me about the rabbits, George. All right. I mean, whatever you're into, I think that's the key. But ultimately, we need to be a little bit more self-sufficient. Why is this spam coming back in here? Garbage. Absolute garbage. Thank you for coming back in, guys. After 1 hour, it gets shut down. Maximum 1 hour. Rice and pinto beans, love it. I love that. Money is great, but without freedom means nothing. Absolutely. But if you got a lot of money, these people are able to do things that the average person can't. Like if they've got a lot of cash, they can find a way to, take their private jet, fly to their private island, and kind of escape everything. This is what many are doing, but different situation, right? A lot of people right now I just think a lot of people are worse off than they were previously, but anyway, different story. All right. We are an hour in, 293 people in the house right now. Do not forget to hit that like button right along here. Let's do it, guys. I'll refuel in the meantime. Let's see. Let's check out those likes. All right. It's going up. By hitting like, you really help the channel out. I don't want to take, I don't want to be like, I find this funny when there's those channels. They always do this. Hey guys, let's get into the video today. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. And then they get into the video. It's like the first 5 seconds of the video, the guy's asking for a like. Why? Why would I give, you got to kind of earn it a little bit, right? Like, like 15 seconds in, the people are asking for likes and stuff. I don't, I get there's more people at the beginning of the video, but at least give a little fact first. All right, thoughts on XRP? I'm being asked on Instagram. I've said it many times before, but essentially that there's a lot of talk about this back in 2017. Nothing, absolutely nothing has changed since 2017 outwardly. Maybe internally the company has done this or that, but I just think that I mean, I don't have too much to say about it personally. I just think that a lot of people are hoping for something with it and nothing is materialized at this point. That's my opinion on it. And I know that some people are not too happy about it, but you know. Thank you for the support, John. I'll delete spam, call it deflationary spam. Yes. How low could the SPX go? I mean, if you look at the 200-day moving average, I would always follow the 200-day moving average as a good indication of how low can it realistically go. And it's still, like, if you look at 200-day moving average, it's still a very high number. I don't know, I don't have it in front of me here, but that's kind of the bottom. But do I think it's going to go there? Not necessarily. Once the taper comes in, then let's talk about that. But as of right now, the stock market, it's right at the bottom, Bollinger Band. It looks towards, it's not oversold, but it is, you know, the price action has definitely been in the downward momentum over the last several days. I ultimately think, like I said previously, what we need to look at is the debt ceiling. Once that's resolved, as well as any sort of spending bill, infrastructure bill, if that gets through, you know, stock market's probably going to move higher from that point. That's my opinion. I get criticized for being, you know, bearish and, you know, you always say the market's going to crash and so on. Look what I just said. I mean, I've been saying that all along. There's certain issues the market wants to see them being resolved, and these happen. You know, there's always a new issue every 3 months, and that's kind of causes the hesitation, and you see the market kind of chopping around. Once that gets resolved, or it's kind of known, yeah, this is going to go past. We're there. The market starts pricing that in, and then it goes up from there. Compliant trading. Do you need this to win? I'm not sure what that means. If anybody knows, please put it in the comment section. Just say compliant trading and then put something. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Hope that's vodka. Water. Always water. Always good streams. Thank you very much. I'm probably way behind on the chat, and I keep losing the chat. When you scroll down on this, for whatever reason, when you scroll down, it's just StreamYard I use. Whenever you scroll down just a little bit, it throws you right down to the bottom. I wonder about the USSR collapse, if the ruble shadow black markets had a part to play, and if it was a survival and a coping mechanism. I'm trying to think of what books I read. I can't remember. I've read the monetary history about it before, but it's been so long and everything's kind of mashed up in my head that I can't remember right now. Ultimately, I just don't like any sort of control coming from a top level. That always ends badly. I've read so much about this, okay? Time and time. It doesn't say it like, it doesn't go, well, you know what, that should have been really bad, but actually it ended up good. We don't have examples of that historically. Could it happen? Anything is possible. But generally, when you have a big overreaching government that just grows and grows and grows, it ends up badly. Don't listen to the haters. We love you. Keep up the good work. These haters are too scared to face what's coming. The haters are cowards. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Buy the dip doesn't work anymore. It, you know, in 2018 it was actually really bad. Right now, September, through the month of September, that didn't work. But in general, it has been a policy simply because of the stock buybacks. Just follow what's happening with stock buybacks in a particular stock, and that's the number one contributing factor. Deflation of assets is stock market stuff. Stock market is in a bubble, so obviously prices go down, but inflation is set at 2%, so the world is inflationary. Their deflation equals less inflation. You know, I mean, there's there's just nowhere that you turn that you're seeing lower levels of inflation. The only cases are like gold and silver that just have not appreciated as much as, you know, commodities in general. Is this spammer coming back? Come on, man. How I keep blocking this garbage. I hate this. I know you guys have seen it on the YouTube comments. Oh my goodness. The amount of spam. I went through and deleted. I deleted I report them. I ban them when I see that stuff. The one that looks like my name, the Money GPS, but then it's kind of like, you know, the S, something's with the S, or there's Money GP or something like this. They change it a little bit. And so I went through and just spent like 5 minutes straight, delete, all the way down. And then I went away, and later, you know, an hour or something, I came back just to check up on the video, and it was like they all came back. They just create new accounts instantly. It's all a bot. It's not a human. And they just pump those replies in there. Every single person gets a reply, and I try to do my best to delete them, but I can't keep up. Thanks, brother. You're the best. I need your voice on the deflation stuff. Kathy Woods is getting under my skin. Yeah. I mean, it's funny what's happened with Kathy Wood. I mean, her stock, her ETFs are performing quite poorly right now, but they had performed extremely well. Like, the only reason why anybody knows who Kathy Wood is because the performance of Tesla. And so, you know, obviously that throughout that period, she really picked a good number of picks in there, particularly Tesla. How can the U.S. default on its debt when the debt is in dollars and could be printed as needed? Because essentially they can give back confetti. So you default by giving back worthless garbage. Like, if Venezuela was going to pay for stuff in bolivars, nobody wants that garbage. Okay? So they've defaulted, you know, indirect default. I'd be totally cool with the Social Security being bust. Here's a lump sum of what you paid in. I'll figure it out from there. I completely agree. Like, just tell the young people, they're 16 years old, they're starting to work a job and stuff. This Social Security thing, you're not getting it. We're telling you now. You have all those years to figure this out. You're not getting it. It's just, you know, they'll tell them, like, you know, put money into a 401k. You're responsible. Put money into a 401k. That's the way I think. Because, you know, most companies today, they have their own 401k plans. They have their own IRA plans that they kind of put people into, and they kind of say, you know, we'll match it and this and that. It's becoming so common today. So I think that is a much better thing than the government saying, you have to put your money into this system. What if that person, you know, their father, let's say they're 16 years old, their father owns real estate and owns a business, but they still have to put money into their Social Security when that money could have been put into real estate. The father could have taught the son how to invest from that young age and take 30% of their paycheck. Instead of putting it to taxes, including Social Security and all this, they could have put that into what they thought was the best thing. You can decide. You could say, okay, I'm going to put my money into a 401k, or I'm going to put it into real estate because my family's in real estate. So I'm going to do that. Wouldn't that make sense to give the people the choice? No. Never give people the choice. Just force them to do stuff. Yeah, it's all good. Let's see where we're at. 1 hour and 15 minutes into the show. 309 people in the house. We've got 5,500 people, that have been in and out. So this has been awesome. We're going to go for another 10 minutes or so. I will answer as many questions as I can get to. I want to thank everybody for being here today from all over the world. All right. Sorry, I'm late. Glad to catch you on live. Thank you. Thank you for being here. That's what you're all hoping for. You've all been consistently wrong since April of last year, but hey, eventually you might be right. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know what this is referencing. I'm seeing deflation in my standard of living. Oh yeah. The amount that people are spending on just regular stuff. Like just regular stuff. Unbelievable. Yeah, on Instagram. Grocery retail, smaller portions. That's known as the shrinkflation. That's a big issue today because, oh no, the prices haven't gone up. Oh yeah, but it used to be 16 ounces, now it's 14 ounces or 12 ounces. It used to be 1 pound, but now it's kind of a little bit less when you look at it. People don't realize it. The boxes are getting thinner. The boxes are getting, like I saw one website that compares them all, and it used to be a square box of, I think it was like cereal. So it's like, let's say shaped like this. And then, they essentially narrowed out the box. So oh yeah, same thing, but actually not really. Ultimate inflation, nobody realizes. Yeah, exactly. $4.99 for a thimble of ice cream to come into a store near you. Yes. Oreo thins, less cookie, healthier. Yeah, that's true. People, they love that. They actually like it. Like when you think about what people really truly like, they like to be told what to do and what to think. This is the vast majority of people. So it's just the way it is. If you tell them there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, if you tell them there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, they will submit to you. GPS wasn't okay. Good stuff. It's hard to tell who's sometimes because I know everybody's talking to each other, and I love that actually, because we need to build a community. We need to unite around the truth. So I love seeing the comments back and forth with each other, whether it's, people are agreeing or disagreeing. Like nobody knows everything. Nobody has all the answers. Anybody that tells you what they know is going to happen tomorrow or the next year or whatever, of course, this is all a guess. So it's great to get different opinions and perspectives from different people, especially all around the world. Good time for buying silver. Well, it's one of the very few things that is extremely cheap today. But at the same time, when I look at what's happening with gold, for instance, investors are just not loving gold right now. Why? Because we're not in that critical time frame of, all hell is breaking loose. When all hell breaks loose, then gold starts looking real attractive. But at this time, if you've got some in your portfolio, a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not getting any cash flow, or let me see. Why can I never? There we go. Passive is massive. Get in that cash flow. That cash flow is what you need. Don't ever discount the importance of cash flow, especially when you're thinking a little bit longer term. And if that Social Security or pension isn't going to pay, you need an asset that pays. You don't need 7 shares of Amazon, because then you got to sell. You got to sell from that 7. You got to come down to the 6 shares of Amazon. You got to come down to the 5 shares of Amazon. And ultimately, you have no shares of Amazon, and you will never be Jeff Bezos if you get rid of all your 7 shares of Amazon. Peter, thank you very much for the support. Costco toilet paper sheets shrank from 4x4 to 3.5 by 3.5 and 35 fewer sheets. That's stinkflation. That's the truth. I agree with that. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's funny. You can, if you feel the paper towel, just feeling it, like previously the Kirkland one was like real heavy duty. It's like a cloth. And then they've changed that, and it's unfortunate the way that it happens. I understand why, because it's politically more, palatable to decrease the quality of the product instead of increasing the price. And that's, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. That's just the way it is, though. Dollar Tree would be the dollar fee. Yeah. All right. Kathy Wood is the best investor of all times. All times. I don't know by what. I think it's hilarious. Kathy, I know that's you, Kathy. Kathy, thank you for coming onto the channel. I just want to let's do an interview, Kathy. Let's do an interview. I only submit to Yellen. You leave my Yellen out of this. You leave my Yellen out of this. Oh, football tickets are $1,000 this weekend just watching. $1,000? Is it a Super Bowl? Why is it $1,000? Wow, that's insane. All right. Gonna do a couple more minutes, guys. Do the interview, Kathy. Kathy or Janet? Janet, come on. I mean, Janet. Janet's got the moves. That's the difference. Janet's got the moves. Let's be honest. And when she says there's never going to be another crisis in her lifetime, I mean, who can resist? Who can resist that? Will oil go to $100 per barrel? $90 on Brent is not much further away, and even on WTI is really not that much further away. The only way that we are not going to hit 90 is if there's some sort of deflationary thing that happens, particularly in China. So if China is like, we are slowing down big time, Evergrande, all the closures, all the stoppages and so on. Like if that starts to spiral out of control, we get some sort of deflationary pressure. I think otherwise oil likely will end up at 90. I mean, 100, it's not that far-fetched, really. See what happened with all the other commodities. They're going up and up and up and up and up. Why hasn't, if you think about it, oil has not appreciated as much as these other commodities. And arguably, it's one of the most important commodities just because of how it gets so much usage from every different corner of the world and so on. Keep up the great work informing us. Thank you very much. Love listening. Good stuff. Always. Thank you. Thank you. Yellen might yell during the interview. Yeller. Old Yeller. All container sizes have shrunk. Yeah, just about. I mean, in a sense, they are like, you got to remember this. So if something was, whatever it is, any amount, they shrink it down. They keep it the same price, right? But at the same time, they're using less material to make that product, and it might be only a penny or two for that packaging. Also, less contents, and you multiply that. If they're making 1 million of those products, that starts to have a big impact on their bottom line. So they're kind of trying to keep up with it. I get it. Like a lot of them, hey, if they're making whatever it is, I don't know, oil or whatever, they're putting this oil, cooking oil, inside of these containers, and if the actual raw, like the input materials to make that oil are more expensive, hey, they have to be in business, they have to be profitable. They have to hire people. The more money that they bring in, guess what happens? They usually go and hire more people. They want to expand. They want to make more money. They want to grow. I get that. But sometimes they can rip people off too. So it depends. Tampa Bay versus Patriots ticket, $1,000. Who is paying that money? All right. Good stuff, guys. I'm going to take off. Hope everybody had some good times today. I will be back tomorrow night. Same time. Now, if you haven't watched the video today, I would highly recommend checking it out. I didn't just talk about the stock market, talk about all kinds of stuff, and I think you should definitely check it out. And then tomorrow, I've already got like 15 tabs open, and I've barely even begun to dig into my work for today. So I would highly recommend checking that out as well, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate the support from everybody. Take care, and thank you.